Hey guys, it's Jessii Vee. I'm so sparkly today. Look, it's like midnight stars. And I'm wearing my Essence of Ghost potion necklace. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Snow White's sister, which I feel like no one ever talks about. Everyone's always telling the stories of Snow White, but not her sibling, and her sibling's name is Rose Red. And they actually have some pretty unsettling tales associated with them, so we're gonna get into that in just a moment. I love dark fairy tales, and so, I had to make a video about these two sisters. Before we get started, if you have not seen my previous video, we have launched our Christmas mystery boxes, and these boxes are so jam-packed, it's insane. So I am gonna do a quicker unboxing this time in case you did see my previous video. This is called the Gingerbread Christmas Mystery Box because we have a lot of gingerbread men items, and so it smells amazing because of that. So first we have this candy cane package, and inside we have our gingerbread man shower gel, and we also have a body lotion, and I love this package. My favorite thing in here is the build your own gingerbread man. It comes with all the supplies that you need. It's so cute. Just do not let him run away on you, okay? Then we have our miniature snow globes, and there's two different kinds of gingerbread men inside of here, and they're just the perfect thing to place on your desk or on your windowsill or in your bedroom. I love them. We also have the gingerbread men lip balms, and these come in a bunch of different styles and patterns as well. We have our hot cocoa plushie. I love this. I love hot chocolate, and these are just so cute. We also have what I like to call our very mean signs, okay? These are sayings that the Grinch loves to tell people. This one says, I had my patience tested, I'm negative. This one says, I'm actually a really nice person, you just annoy me. This one says, all of your sweaters are ugly. So this box is just awesome. If you would like one, I have linked it down below. There will also be 3 golden tickets hidden amongst them, and the 3 prizes you can win if you find one are a Coraline gift pack, a Grinch gift pack, or a Yeti gift pack. And so these will be boxes filled with those themed items. Everything is linked down below, and yes, we still have a free item with purchase today. We are actually doing a continuation of our creatures in a bottle keychains. You guys are loving these, and so we have more. We're gonna continue this for the next 48 hours while supplies last. These are keychains that have animals floating in them. They are the coolest things I've ever seen. So for example, if you want to get a Christmas mystery box, you'll get one of these. If you want to get any other item on our website, maybe a potion necklace, you will get a free keychain for the next 48 hours. So yeah, everything is linked down below, and let's get right into today's video. Snow White and Rose Red is a lesser known German fairy tale collected by the Brothers Grimm. It's a story of 2 sisters who are as different as night and day, but share a deep love for each other. Snow White and Rose Red were 2 young sisters who lived with their mother in a cozy cottage in the forest. Snow White was quiet, gentle, and loved, while Rose Red was outgoing, adventurous, and loved exploring the forest. But despite their differences, they were inseparable. They were besties and sisters at the same time. They were always helping each other and caring for things around the house. They loved animals. And one winter evening, as they sat by the fire, there was a loud knock at the door. And when they opened it, a huge bear stood outside, and instead of being frightened, the sisters welcomed the bear inside to warm himself by the fire. And this bear became a regular visitor, and over time they grew very fond of him and he of them. He even became a protector of them, like he would watch over them whenever they went into the forest to get food. He would make sure they were safe. But one day the bear told them he actually had to leave to protect his treasure from an evil dwarf who was trying to steal it from him. And the sisters were so sad to see him go, but they understood. I just think it's so random, but okay. Shortly after, while out in the forest, they encountered that very dwarf the bear had spoken of. And this dwarf was mean and rude, always finding himself in trouble. And each time the sisters helped him, like untangling his beard, freeing him from thorn bushes, even rescuing him from an eagle, he never thanked him and instead blamed them for all of his mishaps. Then one day, as the sisters were helping the dwarf dwarf again, the bear reappeared, and the dwarf was so frightened and began to bargain for his life, even offering the bear the sisters in exchange for his own freedom. But the bear was furious at the dwarf's wickedness, and he pounced on the dwarf, who eventually met his fate. And afterwards, the bear transformed before the sisters' eyes, revealing himself to be a handsome prince who had been cursed by the dwarf. He was grateful to Snow White and Rose Red for their kindness and bravery, and he invited them back to his kingdom. And Snow White eventually married this prince, and Rose Red married his brother, and together they all lived happily ever after. And it's supposed to just show like the strength and love between sisters, and I guess a bear. I mean, it's definitely a bizarre story. Like, if you go back, you know, a couple hundred years ago and read fairy tales, they are very bizarre, you know? First we have a bear coming in the house, and then all of a sudden a dwarf is involved, but you have to just act like it's normal. So I found a creepier tale of Snow White and Rose Red that we're gonna read now. And this one is called Snow White, Rose Red, and the Clockmaker. Snow White and Rose Red lived happily with their mother in a small village known for its clockmakers. One day, a strange old man set up workshop on the edge of town, filling it with clocks that seemed almost alive, their ticking echoing through the village at all hours. And the villagers warned the girls to stay away from the clockmaker, to not go inside of his studio store. People would whisper around the town that the clockmaker was not truly human, which is kind of scary. But Rose Red's curiosity got the best of her. One evening, Rose Red convinced Snow White to go and sneak into the clockmaker's shop. And inside they found dozens of clocks, each one ticking in eerie unison. And in the center of the shop stood the old clockmaker himself, his fingers long and bony, and he was crafting what looked like a bunch of wooden dolls. And he welcomed the girls in with a creepy smile, and he wanted to show them his latest creations. He held out these two small dolls, and they looked exactly like Rose Red and Snow White. And the clockmaker told them that these dolls were magic because they had the ability to capture souls. Snow White and Rose Red tried to run, but the clocks began to toll, their chimes reverberating through the room, and the girls felt themselves growing weak, their vision fading. And they awoke in their own home the next morning, but when Snow White looked in the mirror, she noticed a faint ticking sound coming from her chest. And even Rose Red noticed that her shadow was making like a slight ticking movement as well. And from then on, the sisters felt hollow, like pieces of themselves had been left behind, and they tried to return to the clockmaker's shop, but it had vanished overnight, leaving no trace. And for the rest of time, the sisters constantly heard the sound of ticking, and they felt like a piece of their soul had been taken. So there you go. Obviously, that just means never go to a clockmaker's store in the middle of the night. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed those two stories. If you want me to continue telling dark fairy tales from decades back, hundreds of years ago, give this video a thumbs up and let me know. And maybe comment which story you want me to cover down below. And yeah, don't forget, if you would like one of our Christmas mystery boxes, I have linked them down below. And for the next 48 hours continuing, we are still giving out free creatures in a jar keychains while supplies last. And yeah, I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!